did you get to this path right here?
Yeah, so I graduated from college. After I graduated college, I was working as a background investigator, a PM, all types of stuff. And I always thought to myself, I knew that it wasn't no job security in what I was doing. So I was like, okay, I want to do something with my life. So I was looking into IT. It didn't really interest me as much, but I would study people like Kevin Mitnick, if you heard of him. He's like a super hacker. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to do something like that. I'm like, this dude is cool. Or I just look at these little nerds with the hoodie on and just break into things. So I,
Right. Right.
so I was like, let me get into cybersecurity. So it took me a long time because the first thing I thought was, okay, I need to get my master's degree. So my master's degree would get me into cybersecurity, but I was in it for a rude awakening. I applied for, after I got my master's degree from University of Baltimore, I was like, okay, I can get a job. So I applied to almost 100 jobs. And I noticed that I kept getting turned down. And it was because they kept saying, oh, yeah, you need a security plus. So I got the security plus. Next thing, I'm still getting turned down for jobs. So I'm like,
Wow.
man, what's going on? So that's, and then also, too, so I just started talking to my friends and I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? So they said, you got to pick a field we want to get into. So my friend was an information system security officer and he broke it down what you need to do. You get your security plus. I already had my clearance at the time, and he just told me just pay attention to NIST guidelines, uh, practice how to do a poem, and then after I kept doing, that's how I got into kind of the information or GRC type of work.
Wow, man. That's an awesome journey. And I would like to I get so many questions about like how to actually break into the field. Your site, for those you don't know, Chris has a podcast, link in description. It's called Tech Woke, where he's actually introducing other people who are in this field, getting their perspective, how they get in. Great resource if you're trying to get into GRC, which is an incredible field. It's been an incredible field for me. It is difficult to get into, but once you actually get in, there's so many different paths that you can get into. Now, now you do compliance, right? What is the difference, but would you say is the difference between a compliance job, if there's any, and the cybersecurity stuff that like hackers and all that kind of stuff? What's the difference? A lot of times the people who are asking me questions, they don't know what questions to ask